Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. India's election regulator has said it will announce dates for the general elections on Saturday. In a post on the social media platform X, the Election Commission said polls for new state governments in Arunachal Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Sikkim will also be held at the same time. Due to the vast area and high population, the election is held in several phases, which allows the rotation of security deployments across the country. Parliamentary polls in India are seen as one of the world's largest elections. Separately, the polls in Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh later this year, which will pave the way for restoration of statehood, is expected to draw intense domestic and global attention. The Supreme Court has denounced the State Bank of India for not disclosing complete details of the electoral bond program. The court had ordered its rollback last month because it was unconstitutional. The court said the total number of bonds issued should be revealed by Monday, which will help match the donor with the political party that received the funding. According to reports, the BJP received the largest portion of over 47.5% of the donations, followed by the Trinamool Congress and Congress Party. The electoral bonds introduced by the government in 2019 enabled anonymous funding of political parties with the stated goal of blocking black money from entering the political system. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a campaign rally in Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu, a state where his BJP was unsuccessful in its search for an ally in the upcoming general elections. Modi told his audience the BJP was set to see a wave of support in the polls, starting from Kanyakumari in the south to Kashmir in the north. It was Modi's fifth visit to the state this year, which is seen as a frantic push to win hearts in the southern region. In February, state lawmaker from the Congress party, Vijayadarani, switched to the BJP, and there are rumors that two other parties, the PMK and the DMDK of actor Vijaykant, are holding electoral talks. The former Chief Minister of Karnataka, B.S. YEDIYURAPPA, has been accused of sexually harassing a minor, and charges were filed under the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. Police in Bengaluru acted on a complaint lodged by the 17-year-old girl's mother. According to reports, the girl claimed that she was assaulted on February 2nd when she and her mother approached the 81-year-old leader, BJP leader, for help regarding a fraud case. The Home Minister of the southern state, Parameshwara, confirmed that an investigation was underway in what he called a sensitive case and ruled out a political angle to it. The office of YEDIYURAPPA dismissed the charges and said, the accusers have made several complaints like this in the past. A study has found in Tamil Nadu that the free breakfast program in primary schools have significantly improved attendance and aptitude. The survey by the State Planning Commission involved over 5,000 students from 100 schools across 38 districts. The study revealed that most children preferred having breakfast at school as it was not regularly available at home. Over 60% of rural students arrived at school early, allowing time for play and interaction, and there was an increase in aptitude levels in rural areas and urban areas. Learning improvement was also observed among the students. Teachers reported that 97% of students regularly utilized the breakfast and noon meal scheme, which helped caregivers save time and money. The study plans to conduct multiple follow-up rounds to monitor evolving patterns as a result of the scheme. Anti-Narcotics Bureau investigators have arrested a notorious drug peddler in Hyderabad and seized a substantial quantity of ganja and 16 lakh rupees. The operation was conducted in collaboration between two police departments, and the raid targeted a drug dealer who was identified as Neetu Bai, and 10 customers were arrested. According to police, the peddler was detained under the Preventive Detention Act, and around 20 cases were filed against her in different police stations for drug trafficking. Reports said authorities are collecting details about the peddler's customers and her suppliers. Earlier, properties worth Rs 40 crores linked to her were identified and seized. There's no word yet on how long the drug ring existed or the extent of its reach. In response to rising incidents of pet dog attacks, the Indian government has issued a directive to all states to prohibit the sale, breeding and ownership of 23 specific dog breeds deemed to be aggressive. The list includes Pit Bull Terrier, American Bulldog, Rottweiler, Mastiffs and others. The directive was issued following appeals from citizens, public forums, and animal welfare organizations to restrict certain breeds from being kept as pets or for other purposes. The panel has classified 23 breeds, including mixed and crossbreeds, as potentially dangerous to humans. The Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying is overseeing this initiative. India is not the first to ban pet dogs. Several countries have imposed restrictions or outright bans on certain breeds of dogs that are considered dangerous. Sri Lankan authorities have detained 21 Indian tourists for illegally running a computer business in the town of Negombo. They have been charged with visa violations and face deportation as they are being held at a detention center in Velisara. The incident underscores the broader issue of tourists, including those from Russia and Ukraine, engaging in business activities while on tourist visas. Sri Lanka offers a free visa policy to boost tourism from countries like India, China, and Russia, and the misuse of tourist visas for business purposes has raised concerns. India, a major source of tourism for Sri Lanka, saw over 30,000 visitors in February, ranking just below Russia. The free visa initiative is part of Sri Lanka's efforts to recover financially by promoting tourism. The Indian government has dismissed remarks by a U.S. official on its Citizenship Amendment Act as interference in its matters. The Ministry of External Affairs in Delhi said the law was about granting citizenship and not taking it away from anyone. It also said those who lecture do not have a proper understanding of India's traditions. Commenting on the law, State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said the U.S. was concerned and it was closely monitoring the law and how it was being implemented. The new law allows Indian citizenship for non-Muslim migrants who face religious persecution in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. Some Indian state governments have expressed concern about the law. Voting is underway in Russia's presidential election, in which the incumbent Vladimir Putin is predicted to win. In the vast country with 11 time zones, voting commenced in easternmost region and will end in Kaliningrad in the west on Sunday. Putin has held the reins of power in Russia for a longer period than any other leader since the era of Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin. His presidency commenced in 2000 with a brief interlude of 4 years serving as the prime minister due to a constitutional restriction of 2 consecutive terms. He has since amended the constitution, which enabled him to contest in the current elections. This reset also implies that he could potentially seek another 6-year term in 2030, by which time he will be 78 years old. The majority leader of the U.S. Senate has urged Israel to conduct elections to find a successor for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, signaling a shift in what was once a solid and friendly relationship. Chuck Schumer, who is the top-ranking Jewish official in the U.S. government, said that Netanyahu has strayed from his path. Leaders in Israel swiftly criticized the senator, and Netanyahu's Likud party asserted that Israel is not a banana republic and that the prime minister's strategies are backed by a substantial majority. The latest criticism marks a significant increase in the U.S.'s disapproval of Netanyahu's administration. Despite the U.S. being Israel's staunchest ally and largest military aid donor, apprehensions are escalating within the Biden administration and among several of his party members regarding Israel's conduct of the war. The U.S. is sending millions of dollars worth weapons to Ukraine, which is running low on ammunition in its fight against the Russian invasion. The munitions are being sent from its reserves as additional funding efforts have been stalled due to Republican opposition. There's also a Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative for longer-term contracts to produce new weapons, but this is not seen as a sustainable support method. The situation on the front lines in Ukraine is critical, with troops rationing munitions and withdrawing from areas due to ammunition shortages. Despite repeated requests for help from President Volodymyr Zelensky, House Republicans have been unwilling to vote on aid. China has criticized a bill currently under consideration in the U.S. Congress that could potentially lead to a ban on TikTok in the U.S., accusing it of acting unfairly and likening it to a bandit. The bill, which has been approved by the House of Representatives, stipulates that TikTok's parent company has a 6-month window to divest from the company or face a ban on the app. While the bill still has to overcome challenges in the Senate, President Joe Biden has indicated that he will sign it into law if it is passed by Congress. In response, Beijing has pledged to take necessary measures to safeguard its interests. TikTok is a subsidiary of ByteDance, a company based in Beijing and registered in the Cayman Islands. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.